On my run today, I couldn't help but reflect on something that has been bothering me for a while. Why do we crave the attention of those who disregard us? It seems like we have been programmed to want what doesn't want us. Instead of appreciating what does want us, this programming of frustration permeates every aspect of our existence: our relationships, our business, our financial lives, and even how we show up in the world. Think about it. How many of you have found yourselves in a home that you despised because you were so focused on wanting a bigger, nicer house that would make you house poor, basically? All your attention went into how you could escape that crappy house and move into the bigger one, only to find yourself after you get there struggling to make ends meet due to mortgage payments, escalating taxes, and insurance. The house looked good, but it left you financially stretched and unfulfilled. The same goes for relationships. How many of us have stayed in unhappy relationships, blaming the other person for our own dissatisfaction? We fail to realize that we entered those relationships already unhappy because we hadn't dealt with our own emotional baggage. We expected the other person to fill the void within us, which was really an unfair burden to place on them. And let's not forget the pursuit of material wealth. How many of us have chased after more money to buy more things just to show the world that we've made it? Yet we end up stashing those possessions in a closet, never to see the light of day again, just to maintain an image that we're not slaves anymore. We're not slaves in the system. We can buy what other people can buy. I have fallen into these traps myself, and I'm sure many of you have too. It's all a part of a deceptive thinking pattern that society has conditioned us to follow. But where has that thinking led us? Reflect on your own experiences and see where those actions rooted in social pressures have gotten you. As a child, I used to watch, don't judge me, but I used to watch shows like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, 30-something, Matlock, and Perry Mason. Those shows shaped my concept of being an attorney: wealthy, driving a Porsche, and winning cases with dramatic courtroom interrogations. But nobody told me about the tremendous cost of obtaining a law degree, or the subtle biases that I would have to deal with within the legal profession. I had to navigate those challenges on my own, which, let's be frank, often stripped me of the joy and excitement I once had for practicing law. Add to that the stress of debt, marriage, and raising children, all while feeling the pressure to present ourselves in a certain way to the world. These burdens we put on ourselves are heavy, but they are imaginative, driven by a programming that tells us we should want what doesn't want us and be willing to pay a high price for it, even if that price comes in the form of crippling student loan debt or sacrificing our financial and emotional well-being. This programming keeps us in a foundational place within the structural makeup that upholds the system. We've become so accustomed to believing that this path is necessary that we fail to see the energy output and how it benefits others more than it benefits ourselves. We've become part of a cooperative imagination network that limits us, making us play our assigned roles without questioning why. The system doesn't want us to ask important questions. Why do we need student loans to get an education? Could there be a less burdensome way to educate people? Why do houses have to cost a significant portion of our lifetime earnings? These fictions are built into the cooperative imagination networks we call the economic system. The education system doesn't teach us how to master the system. It teaches us how to bend to it. But here's the truth. The system is built on our ignorance, not our wisdom. It thrives on our fears, not our courage. However, we have the power to break free from this programming and create a new cooperative imagination network that serves our best interests. We must start by acknowledging the hidden truths that lie in plain sight and recognizing the flaws within the existing system. During my run, I came across 2 articles that further solidified the reality of this cooperative imagination network. One article discussed how individuals who studied computer science are finding themselves unwanted by big tech companies. AI. The other article raised concerns about the potential freezing of bank accounts through a payments network called FedNow. These examples highlight how adjustments are made within the network without warning, leaving many of us vulnerable and ill-prepared. It's time for us to shift our perspective and look out for ourselves as individuals and as a community. We need to educate ourselves, and I'm not talking about traditional education. Question the existing systems and seek alternatives that align with our values and aspirations. It's not an easy path, as it requires breaking free from the familiar and confronting the discomfort of change. But the rewards of reclaiming our autonomy and creating a new reality far outweigh the temporary comfort of complacency. Together, let's support one another in this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Let's challenge the narratives that have been ingrained in us and seek true fulfillment and abundance. By reprogramming our minds and working collectively, we can dismantle the illusions of the old cooperative imagination networks and construct a new one that truly benefits us all. So as you continue your own journey, question everything. Question the societal norms, the educational system, the financial structures, and the patterns of consumption. Seek knowledge. Surround yourself with people who are of like mind. And envision a future. Use your conscious intention and your conscious attention to envision a future that transcends the limitations of the existing system. It's time to embrace our own wisdom, courage, and creativity. Let's unlock our true potential and build a cooperative imagination network that supports and uplifts us all. Together, we can create a world where our desires are not dictated by external forces, but guided by our own inner compass. This is Sean Speaks. And remember, brain health is mental wealth.